Okay, good win tonight. We're very happy for our players, our coaches. Our goal was to get better from week 1 to week 2, and I think we did that. Outstanding crowd. I mean, the crowd was off the charts. Really appreciate our fans. Special teams, I thought we did a solid job. We had no punts. That was big. Third downs was a big focus this week, and we were pretty good on third down. Had the fake field goal for a touchdown. That was a momentum play for us. I thought our guys executed very well, and I think our defense, we gave up a big pass play down the middle, but for the most part, I thought our defense did a very good job, stopping the run. I mean, that was really the goal right there, but I think our guys played well. We got to continue to get better, playing, 2 tough SEC opponents the next 2 weeks.
Questions?
Gus, how important was it to get some of the backup guys in and get some confidence with the first offense?
About in the locker room, it's great to get young guys quality experience, and that'll help us in the future with our depth. And so overall, that was a big factor. That'll definitely help us moving down the road.
How about the confidence with the first offense?
Yeah, it came out and we looked like an Auburn offense, for the first time. We got to run the football. When we can run the football, it opens everything else up. And, we had a lot of different guys carry the football, and I think our offensive line got better. And, we talked about from week 1 to week 2. If you got an inexperienced group or whatever, that's usually your biggest improvement. And so just looking at it without looking at the film, I can tell they definitely improved.
This is one of Shaun's better career performances, Gus. Just what were your first impressions of how he played tonight?
I thought he did very good. He was able to run the football. I mean, I think that's a big factor right there. He did a good job with some of our read zones and our gap zones. Did a good job when things broke down, just taking off and making a play. The play he made to Kerryon Johnson, at the very first touchdown was kind of right in front of me, and it was an unbelievable play for him just to get the ball out. And then, of course, KJ, he made a wow play when he cut it back across the field.
Passing-wise, he also had, I think, 5 plays of over 20 yards, and that was certainly an emphasis for you guys, the deep pass to Kyle. Again, just the vertical passing game, how important was that to accomplish that?
Yeah, that was something coming in that we felt like we needed to do, and we hit some passes early. Kyle made a circus catch on that one. That was really something, and it was good to get those young receivers out there, and they're very talented.
On a play like that, Shaun, the one we flipped it to Kerryon, he's back out leading the block. He did that a couple of times. To see your quarterback out there kind of being one of those guys, what's that mean? Yeah,
you kind of flinch a little bit sometimes. He's a tough guy. I mean, he's a tough guy, and he just plays ball, and that's the way he plays. And his teammates like that about him. He's a tough guy, but I was flinching a little bit on that lead block.
What was the thought process on the fake field goal call, and do you remember the last time you called a fake field goal again?
It's been a while. We felt like the right opportunity, if we got the right look, that it would be there. And Coach Fountain and Coach Hand, are in charge of the field goal, and they came to me, in the middle of the week and felt like that we had a chance, and so we got the look, and our holder made an outstanding throw. That's not an easy deal. And I don't know if you saw, you had one guy coming in, that one guy looped out. We weren't expecting the guy to loop out, and he just made a great toss with it. And of course, Daniel's an athlete. I mean, he can run, and but it was pretty well executed.
Has Daniel been pestering you about that for a while? I know in the preseason camp he'd been saying, "Hey, I think I'm an athlete. I'd like to get the pass on my way."
He is an athlete. There's no doubt. He's an athlete, and they were glad that it was up this week, and of course they were real excited.
You wanted to get Petway more involved throughout camp, but just to see him have a game like that.
Yeah, he's a load now. I mean, he's a change-up, from him and KJ. I think it's a very good change-up. He showed some speed there, too. I mean, they got a couple guys can run, and he almost busted that one right before half, and he had another long one that just barely got his foot. But the more he carries the ball, the more comfortable he'll get, but that could be a good 1-2 punch for us.
With Kerryon, you said it was right in front of you. How many times did you think it was just going to fall dead? Because it looked like it was going to fall dead about 3 times.
Yeah, KJ's he's got some unique abilities. I mean, he can do some things that kind of wow you at times, and of course that was really impressive. And there was some good blocks too, but he made something out of nothing on that one.
Did you get an inkling throughout the week that this performance was on the horizon for your offense?
You know, they had a good week of practice. I mean, last week, obviously, we were disappointed in our offensive output, specifically running the football, kind of like we talked about. And our guys had a good week of practice. And, you know, we're still kind of figuring out who we are, you know, with our personnel. We're learning about our personnel. We got a lot of new guys, you know, they're out there, not just the new freshmen, but some other guys. And so, you know, we're kind of figuring out who we are, and each week I think that'll help us the more information we have on our guys. And but that we had a good week of practice, and that carried over.
I know we're only 2 games in, but with the numbers he put up tonight, and like you said, you guys look like an Auburn offense again. Is it fair to say Shaun White's won this team and it's his offense?
Well, I mean, he did a great job tonight. Yeah, I mean, he's our quarterback and just did a super job. And you know, I think he'll have a chance to get better and better. But I was very impressed with the way he played tonight and showed some toughness. And kind of like we've said before, our quarterback needs to be a runner for us to be as good as we can be. And he was a runner enough tonight.
There were some reports that Landon Rice is no longer part of the program. Is that something you can?
Yeah. Landon's no longer. He's left the team for personal reasons, and you know, he got a great family, and his brother still plays for us.
You touched on the defense's performance, but the pass rush specifically, the most sacks you guys have had since the Louisville game last year in the opener. Just what did you see from them up front?
Well, you know, we're deep up front. And we got a handful of guys that can really, when they get in one-on-one situations, they have a chance to put some pressure on the quarterback. And when you can stop the run, you know, then you can pin your ears back on third down. And they didn't have any kind of really big runs between the tackle. I think most of the things were on the perimeter.
Yeah, it's like Derek Brown and Andrew Williams, both backup guys, get in there and make a lot of plays. How important is that to see those guys step up?
It's very important. It'll do nothing but help us. And, you know, Big Derek's getting better every snap that he's out there. He's very disruptive and got a chance to be a very good football player.
Gus, was this maybe one of the best performances you've seen from your receivers and since you've been here? I mean, because I know last year it seemed like they had problems not just dropping passes. It didn't seem like they dropped.
You know, I mean, they did some good things tonight. You know, we're still learning about a lot of our receivers. You see, it's a new crew now. I mean, we got Tony that has been out there, and Marcus has been out there, and the rest of them we're learning about them. And you know, Coach Burns done a good job with them, and we just got to continue to get better, and you know, continue to execute.
Guys, what do you think you learned about Darius specifically tonight?
Well, Darius is he's got a lot of winter in him. He just needs experience. He just needs reps. You know, he wants to be good, and he wants to be coached. He's a great practice player, and so anytime a great practice player carries over, you know, on the game field, it's a really good feeling.
You touched on Tony. His leads you with catches, leads you in yards, 2 touchdown grabs is more than he's had in his career. Gus, it's a long time coming for him. Just what kind of impact does that have when a guy finally has this kind of night for him?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that'll help him with confidence moving forward. I know Shaun's got confidence in him, and, you know, he created a couple of those on his own. You know, that third down and long on our sideline where he kept his feet in was a good play. The touchdown that he kind of back shouldered and got open on his own, I thought was big. And then the dig route that he made a move, made a guy miss. I mean, he took it to the house. So Tony's a talented guy, and you know, he had a very good night.
What do you think of John Franklin's running ability on that one drive?
You know, he was close to taking it to the house a couple times. I mean, he was just really, really close, and it was really good for him to get out there and get some game reps too. And so I thought that was good to get him out there and let him do his thing too.
Gus, you usually have a running back that kind of steps up after 2 or 3 games. Having the 1-2 punch, as you put it, how valuable is that when you have 2 guys that you know can carry a load?
Well, you know, I think it's very valuable. You know, we're still learning about those 2 guys too. I mean, that's really, you know, KJ's 2 games in a row, you know, carried the football numerous times, and Petway really tonight was his first time to really carry the load right there. So, you know, I think those guys will continue to get better, and you know, it could be a good 1-2 punch moving forward.
Gus, was TJ Neal suspended tonight, or is he
I didn't dress him out. I chose not to dress him out.
Gus, you said you're still learning about this team. What did you learn tonight?
Well, you know, I learned that the guys responded to the challenge. We talked about improving and getting better. Obviously, it was a tough week this past week on offense because offense didn't perform up to standards. And so, this right here will give us some momentum, give our offensive guys confidence, and we're going to need it. We're going to need to continue to improve. I mean, we're fixing to play 2 big-time defenses back-to-back, and, we're going to have to play better tonight the next 2 weeks.
Take a few more. What are your first thoughts on Texas A&M? Because I know all offseason you focus on the first 3 games. It's been a pivotal game for the last several years. Just what's your initial impressions of them?
I'm going to be honest with you. I've been focused on Arkansas State this week. I hadn't even really looked forward. Now, we got coaches that have and all that. We know they're talented. They got a couple pass rushers, obviously, that we're very aware of. They got a transfer quarterback that is a very good quarterback. They got the big receivers. I mean, they're a good team. And, this will be a big game. There's no doubt about that.
I didn't see Devereaux play tonight. Is he hurt?
No, I don't think so.
Anything else?
Obviously, the quarterback can't be perfect with the ball, but what does it mean for White to have Davis and Slayton be able to go up and get a ball when it's not necessarily there?
Yeah, there's a couple, there's a couple guys that made plays for him I thought was very good. There was 2 really, really fine catches that was really good to see.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.